know what it is about him, but he seems to pull everyone to him. And he did this many, many times. And I was like, oh yeah, that's Mac. Oh yeah, he comes. But at the end of class, he sent out, who wants to be on my radio show? And I said, I'll be on your show. And I have grown to really understand that this is just a courageous man who walks and brings goodness to everyone. Is such a loving, wonderful person. I am so blessed to know him, and I am hopeful that all of you will feel the same way. Mac, I'm turning it over to you, and please enlighten us.
Can I just add a piece in there, Linda?
Sure, yes.
Yes, it's like, and it came to our attention because Harvey, our wonderful president that I see is not visible right now, Harvey sent out an email about the blue ribbon, Grandma Sparky. And Mac showed up with his sketchy internet connection and everything. And we all cheered every time that we could see and hear him contributing and bringing just himself, just his humanity. Thank you, Mac. Thank you, Linda.
Mac, you're on. We can't wait.
Right. I'm so glad to be on again. I just hope my internet works fine because I've been having some breaks here and there. I hope you can hear me good.
We can hear you.
All right. All right. The ripple effects of kindness and compassion. And I would like to premise this discourse on a story that happened in Nigeria way back in 2018. Now, in Nigeria, we have a kind of a taxi, a tricycle taxi, we call keke. On a good day, a tricycle taxi driver will make, say, $20, thereabouts. So it happened that a young man called Gideon went out one day to work, and he carried a woman. The woman had some babies, some children, had some bags and all. When she got to her destination, she stepped out, took out the kids, and took her bags and left. Now, the driver realized that one bag was remaining. So he went towards the direction to see if he could find the woman. She was gone. So he went through the bag to see if he could find some identification papers. There was none. Instead, he found the sum of 345,000 naira, the Nigerian money. At that time, 2018, that was the equivalent of about 1,000 US dollars, more or less. Good money, big money. Ordinarily, this story will not be anything special to an American, but it's a special story for Nigerians. The thing is, coming across that kind of money, he would have simply taken it home. He would have stopped work for that day. This is somebody who works so hard to make, say, $10, $20 a day, but he came across $1,000. So he tried as much as possible to find the woman. He couldn't find her. So he went to radio stations and put on announcements. There was no help. Then he came to my radio station, met me, told me the story. I was surprised because it is unusual. So I scripted an announcement, added my phone number, and in less than 1 hour, I got a call from a woman who said, "It looks like the money you announced about is my money." I said, "Okay, come around the radio station. I'll make arrangement for the driver to come, and we'll try to see if you are the owner of the money and all." Long story cut short. The woman came. The driver came. It was actually the woman's money. She said she was disoriented. There were so many things going on in her mind. She was already depressed as soon as she realized that the money was gone. So we handed the money over to the woman. She came with her husband. They were full of joy. They removed a quantity of the money and gave it to the taxi driver. His name is Gideon. And Gideon said, "Now, I don't need your money. If I wanted money, I would have taken everything. So take your money." They insisted. So he took half of the amount of money they gave him and gave some quantity to me. And I said, "No, I don't need the money. I just made an announcement." He said, "Take it. If you don't want to use it for yourself, use it for charity." So that's the story of a real man, a man I met, Gideon, who came across the equivalent of $1,000. There was no trace. There was no way to find him if he had taken that money home. No trace. I live in Nigeria, where I have been attacked by young men with guns, with machete. All they wanted was my phone or the money in my pocket, which does not amount to anything. But here is a man who came across $1,000 and he spent his own money going around looking for the owner of the money. For me, that is a wonderful example of kindness and compassion. So it doesn't end there. I'm talking about the ripple effects of kindness and compassion. I took up his story and I told his story on radio. And I put a phone call across to him while I was presenting my program so that he can inspire others. And I asked, "Why did you have to give back the money? It was right there in front of you. There was no trace. Nobody knew the money was there. You could have taken it home and become a happy man. You struggle every day to make $20, but this was $1,000. And he said, "I was brought up not to take what doesn't belong to me." That aside, think of the trauma, think of the depression, think of the suffering the person will go through because the person must have, might have just got disoriented for 1 or 2 minutes and lost that amount of money. So he inspired people, but still it doesn't end there. After telling his story, people got in touch with me and said, "Wow, this is a wonderful thing. We want the bank account number of Gideon. Let's support him. Let's send some money to him. He's such a good man. He's such a wonderful person. This is not common in a country like Nigeria." And so Gideon kept receiving money from people. He kept calling me and thanking me. And I said, "Don't call me no more. Don't thank me. I didn't do anything. I just, told you a story. Continue doing good, And that is how kindness breeds kindness. What we do, the Macdavis Charity Foundation, is nothing unusual. But we try to tell the stories of people who are making a difference in our world, people who are showing kindness, people who are showing compassion. We look for avenues to tell these stories. Each time Linda or Tim Perrin or Sam or Bonnie Janowski have been on my show, I get positive feedback. People are telling you, "Wow, these people are doing this. Therefore, I should also do this." I'll give you a simple example. Barbara Goldberg was on my show a couple of days ago, and she spoke about coming to Africa to dig wells, and people were greatly inspired. All the way from America, coming to Africa to dig wells. And then one got in touch with me and said, "We are going through water crisis in my community." His name is Ed. "We're going through water crisis in my community, but I'm young. We can move around and we get water. But there are some old people in my community. They don't have that strength to move around. So they have to pay people. They have to do a lot of spending." Because of what I heard from Barbara Goldberg, I will make it as a duty to provide them with water every weekend. And that's the positive effect. That's the ripple effect of when we do good and we tell these stories. When we show kindness to people, when we understand their problems and we help them, we make the world a better place, just as all of you have been doing. I was in Uganda in East Africa. I'm from Africa. But I was in Uganda and I saw the highest level of poverty I've seen anywhere. I saw young girls who are into prostitution because of poverty. I saw girls of 15, 16, 17 who were already sex workers. It cracked my heart. When I first heard the story, I said, I'll go there and see what I can do. If I can change one person, if I can change two persons, it means I have made a difference. I went into the brothel to understand what was going on. So I would call a girl and I'll say, how much will it cost me to spend 2 hours with you, 3 hours with you? And they'll give me a cost. And how much? Peanuts. Peanuts to spend a night or some time with a man you know nothing about, a man who can kill you and harvest your organs and sell. For me, it was really heartbreaking. So each time I meet a girl and I say, I want to spend an hour or two with you, come with me. I was actually taking her to a place where we can sit and talk. I'll buy a drink and we talk. And I'll say, why are you doing this? And they let you know it's because of poverty. Oh, I lost my parents when I was very young. Oh, there are no jobs. I'm suffering my bills. I can't raise money. So I sleep with men to make money. And you feel sorry about the situation. And I always say, you can do better. You can make your life better. What you are doing is dangerous. We are living in Africa. There are a lot of people who kill people. There are a lot of people who believe that human parts used in fetish charms can make money. And you don't even know me. What if I'm one of such people who can take you away and harm you, cut off your hands, and as is popular in East Africa, So, but you show these people kindness before you can change them. Now, if they said I was going to pay, say, $5 or $10 to spend some time with them, at the end of all the talk, I give them $15 or a little bit more than what they asked for. And they are surprised. You mean you took me out, you are speaking to me, and you are giving me money without going to bed with me? And I say, yes, because I don't like what you are doing. I want you to change. I want you to get into something noble. You can start small. You can buy things, sell, and you make a little gain. It is more honorable than sleeping with people. So when you show people kindness like this, it gets deep into their heart and they want to change. And that is what we do. We try to use every avenue we can to teach kindness, to teach compassion. We can't change the entire world, but if we can change one or two persons, we are making a difference. I met a lot of young men who are into crime. They are drug addicts. They steal over there in Uganda. They were living in the ghettos. I was living in a hotel known as Manhattan Hotel. And, I felt for me to have a better impact, let me get into the ghetto, live with these people, identify with them, and I will make a difference in their lives. And that I did. I met the young men. I was able to gather them with the help of my partner over there and speak to them. But it's not enough speaking. If you are telling people, start something small, you should be able to give them something small. So I had some donations from a friend in America and a friend in Australia. I called them together. I said, look at this small money. You can start something. Start something, and you'll be able to make more money. And if goodness is going to come your way, goodness will meet you in an act of doing good. So that is what we do, the Macdavis Charity Foundation. We inspire people with our words. We take beautiful stories of people who are making a difference in our world, and we share this story on radio. We allow people to speak on our platform. Every program I do, Youth and Truth, Weekend Bliss, Blue Ribbons Inspiration, Crossroads, all these programs, I give room for people to tell their positive story. Because even if it is just one person who listens to you and changes, it's a wonderful thing. Now, the Macdavis Charity Foundation, we support orphans, orphanages. If we don't give them support, they will eat, they will be clothed. But our support makes a difference. And we don't have to use our own money. Yes, we make our own contributions, but we inspire people to support us. And people are kind. They donate clothes, shoes, and then we buy and we add. we are moving towards Christmas. We are moving towards the end of the year. If you go to your wardrobes and you open, you will realize that there are some clothes you may not have worn up to twice this year. There are some clothes you may not have worn this year, and you may not even wear them again. They are just there. So we tell people, bring out these clothes, give them to us. There are many elderly people who cannot afford to buy clothes. And when they give us these clothes, we wash them, we iron them, we spray some nice, perfume so that they smell good. We repackage them and we donate them to these people. And it makes a whole difference in their lives. It could be clothes, it could be shoes, it could be foodstuff. So we may not be the ones raising everything, but when we speak to people, we inspire them to make a difference. And when they give love, when they share love, they also go out there and speak to others. So the ripple effect of kindness and compassion is multiplied. We received some kindness from Mastery Circle LA. That kindness you showed to us is going to make a big difference in the lives of orphans and the elderly during Christmas. We kept it aside and we said, let's wait till Christmas and let's put a smile on the faces of these people. And your kindness, the kindness you showed to the Macdavis Charity Foundation, will be shown to others. And they too, as they move along in life, they will also show kindness. And that is the ripple effect of showing. Thank you for the wonderful things you are doing to promote kindness in our world. Our dream in the Macdavis Charity Foundation is to be able to establish what we may call turnaround home. We may call it anything. We may call it love villa. We may call it compassion house. But however, it will be a home where we bring young people from the streets, from the brothels, gangsters. We show them love and kindness. We may help also remove the tattoos on their bodies to make them good people again. We try to raise funds to help them start small businesses. And then they will be good people. And they will show love to others because they have been shown love. When we show love to people, there is a certain inner spirit in human beings that wants you, that makes you to continue to do what you receive. If you receive badness, hardness, toughness, you seem to want to give out badness and toughness. But when you are shown love and kindness and compassion, that's what also you want to show. So the dream of the Macdavis Charity Foundation is to establish these homes. I don't know when. Could be next year. Could be in 5 years. We walk slowly, but we dream. So I just want to say, kindness breeds kindness. And I have seen people just talking about kindness inspire other people to also start doing good things. I've seen people show compassion. Now, kindness and compassion. We show kindness to anyone. Compassion is stronger. Compassion is when we understand what someone is going through, the suffering one is going through, and then we participate. And then we end up by saying, what can I do to help? I see so many young women into prostitution. I see so many young men into crime. They steal. I feel sorry for them. Maybe if things were better, if the country was okay, if our leaders had made the country nice, job opportunities, maybe they wouldn't be in crime and prostitution. But then, what can we do? Feeling sorry is not enough. How can we help the situation? And that's why we have this dream, that with time, we will establish a turnaround home and see how many youths we can pick out from the streets. There are people who are willing to teach them how to repair cars, how to make cake, how to do hair. You know, our African women are always changing their hairstyles, how to sew clothes. And then if they can stay out there in the world and do a job, they are making a difference. They are spreading the kindness because they will also train others. I am not known for speaking much, but I just want to say, there's nothing new I have told you because you all know what compassion is. You all know what kindness is, and you have been showing kindness. I just want to say, let's continue showing kindness, because each time we do it, we may not know we are creating a ripple effect. And every time you have the opportunity to be on any of my platforms, to speak about love, about kindness, about making this world a wonderful place, I'll be glad to have you come on and we share the love. We continue speaking about kindness and compassion. Because if the people hear and they are touched and they express it in the lives of others, we are making our contribution to make this world a better place. One candle will not expel the darkness, but it will make a difference. The little things we do might not take away all the badness in the world, but it will make a difference. I don't want to go on and speak for 45 minutes. I want to stop here and have an interaction. I want to thank you very sincerely for your very kind attention. It's a wonderful gift from above, me being a part of Mastery Circle. I've learned a lot, I've been inspired a lot, and I'll ever be grateful to be a part of this wonderful family. Thank you for your kind attention. I am open to questions, interactions, and all. Let's continue to make a difference in the area of kindness and compassion, because each time we show love, each time we show kindness, each time we show compassion, it is multiplied, even if we don't know. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.
Matt, you would like questions now from people? Yes, okay. So Bill, help me. Mac has a radio show, and I think a few of us have been on it. And, you know, he's just the most generous. He speaks with a lot of passion, and I know that you can feel it. But when he's on his radio show, he's just the kindest, most wonderful host. And everything he says is true. Tim, go.
Yes, Mac, can you tell us a little bit about your background and what led you to this compassion and all of that? Like, what were some of the events in your life that turned things around and set you on this beautiful path?
Looks like he's frozen.
Yeah. Oh, okay, there he comes.
Tim, Mac is asking you to say it again. Maybe
I can't hear you, Tim.
Okay, sorry, Mac. Okay, what I wondered was, what happened in your life earlier to set you on this path? What events in your life set you on this path of compassion and loving kindness? What happened? Give us a little history of your life. Did you understand that?
You want to know, you want me to give you a little bit of background about my early childhood and what inspired me to get so much into this talk about compassion and all?
Yes, yeah. Like, what were the events in your life? How did you go down this path?
Okay, all right. Well, I grew up in the ghetto. I was a ghetto kid, and I was truly very, very rough. But at the same time, I was going to church, and I mixed up a lot with the Reverend Fathers and the Reverend Sisters, and they taught me a lot about kindness and compassion. They didn't only teach me, they practiced it, because we were little boys serving at mass, you know, hanging around the priest, following them to the prisons, and generally seeing the niceness in them. And that inspired me to want to be nice, you know. And that aside, I grew up from an average family, and I received a lot of kindness from people to get to move on in life. People showed me a lot of kindness. And so, like I said, what you give is what you give to people. They also want to pass it out. Because I received a lot of kindness, and because I saw a lot of kindness, I am also trying to pass on that kindness and preach that kindness. I don't know, I don't know if I answered your question, but that's how I grew up. I grew up in the ghetto. I was rough, yes, but I had friends who were priests and religious sisters and brothers. And they taught us a lot about kindness and compassion, the importance of giving, of sharing. And that has stayed with me till today. I just hope I was able to answer your question.
Mac, I have a question. You say you were inspired by.
My network is really very bad. I don't know why today.
Can you hear me, baby? Can you hear me? He's probably.
Yeah, it looks like he has connection problems.
Yeah. Well, what I was wanting to ask him was, inspiration is something that you get and then you change inside. You feel something and you know you felt something different. And I wanted to hear what motivated him to become kind. I know he had a lot of kindness come at him, but he said he was inspired. So the inspiration comes.
I'm sorry, I got cut off. My network became so bad. Can you hear me at all?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we
Mac,
can, Mac.
I have a question. I know you were receiving a lot of kindness and you were inspired, but I want you to take me to the moment where you thought I could be better, because this is what you give others. How did you know you could be better?
It began quite a long time ago. I told you a story last time when I spoke to you. I told you of a young man who stood up and gave up his seat to a pregnant woman. If you remember that story.
Yes, please tell it. Please
that
tell
was the moment.
It's a wonderful
That was
story.
the moment I said, wow. Can
So,
you hear me at all?
Tell it to everyone. Everyone should hear it.
Sorry, I'm having a lot of breaks. Can you repeat that, please? I just could not connect. Too many breaks.
Okay, Mac, can you tell that story of when you were on, when the other one gave up his seat? That was a really good story. Can you tell that one?
Okay, you want me to tell the story again?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm getting back.
Okay, I was traveling from a Nigerian city called Aba, and I was going to another city called Onitsha. And there were three categories of seats: those who sit on a comfortable chair, those who sit on an uncomfortable attachment, and those who pay to stand. When the vehicle took off, there was a woman standing. She was pregnant, and I could see she was going through a lot of pain. I simply looked at her and I felt sorry. Long story cut short, after about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, thereabout, a young man stood up. He was sitting on a comfortable chair like me, walked over to where the woman was standing and asked her to go sit down, while he stood. And all along I've been seeing the woman, and all I felt was, I just felt sorry and forgot her. But this was somebody who was touched by the fact that this is a woman, pregnant, standing, maybe because she did not have enough money to pay for a comfortable seat. Now he was about 22, young, strong, and in fact I could make that sacrifice. That is the event that inspired me to even start the Make a Difference project, which is today known as the Macdavis Charity Foundation. That is the event that inspired me to want to stretch out, to want to give out to others. My time, whatever I can raise, my money, my words, that was the event. Because I said, look at this young man, to have made this unusual difference in the life of others. I should do the same as I move on in life. That was the event.
I have a question.
Daniel.
Thank you. Mac, it was a real joy to be on your radio show. Your inspiration inspired my inspiration, and we went back and forth and we got higher and higher. It's infectious. I wanted to know, how can we tune into your show? Is it possible? And when is it on?
All right. The easiest way is to download our app, our radio app. I will send it to Mary Grace. She knows how to share these things. If you download the app, I will also tell you the time when I'm on, or the times when I am on for my various shows. So you get to know. Yes.
I'll be happy to send an
Thank you.
email to everybody after our meeting today.
There are
Thank you, Mary Grace.
there are some people here that want to be on your show, so prepare. Yeah,
All
good.
right.
And Mac, can you see the chat? Can you see the text in the chat?
Yes.
So Michelle has offered some connections in Costa Rica.
Say it again, please.
Michelle, Gabriel has offered some connections in Costa Rica.
All right. Yes.
For you.
Michelle can have. Yes.
That's why I
Yes,
said
yes, she can have
I
my
would
email.
send,
I can't really type now, but she can have my email.
yeah, I'll send out an email. I think that's probably easier because there are several people who are interested in connecting.
All right.
Email,
Just send
email
her-
works.
I just sent her a Mac's email in the chat.
Mhm.
All right, cool.
Not there.
Michelle, did you want to speak?
I did. Mac, first of all, you're an inspiration. I know you hear this a lot, but the joy and the commitment and the love of people that you have is just so heartwarming. And I was particularly moved by what you were doing in Uganda. It's been my pleasure to support women with HIV in Uganda. I traveled there to meet them in 2007. They were making hand beaded out of paper, wove beads, necklaces, bracelets, and so on. And then volunteers, we were selling them in the United States to help them with school fees and other things so that their children wouldn't have to, or they wouldn't have to become prostitutes and so on, because they were lacking in funds. So I just thank you so much for looking around and seeing where the needs are and how you can be of service. And I'm on a board of an organization here in Costa Rica bringing money into the country with 120 affiliates doing amazing work. And I know there are people whose stories you would love to have on your show that would inspire others. So thank you for the gift that you've given all of us and that you give everyone around you, because you're right. It has a ripple effect. And it does make people want to go out and do good. So thank you.
Matthew,
Thank you
did
so
you?
much, Michelle. Although I didn't quite get everything you said because my network was breaking. When I listen to the recording, I will get to know everything you said. But all the same, yeah, Uganda is a country full of promiscuity. It's everywhere, but Uganda. And like I told you before, I saw girls of 15, 16, 17 who are into prostitution without protection. They are just there. And I wish I could do more. I wish I could stay longer.
All right.
And Uganda happens to be the country where HIV was first noticed in Africa. And all we could do is just speak and try the little bit we can do. I wish I'll have the opportunity to go there again and still do a little, a little different. Thank you, Michelle. I would like to share the stories of all the wonderful people in Costa Rica. So find a way to get in touch and let's start a communication.
We'll do it. We'll do it. I promise. I'm going to follow up today. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Matthew, did you have a question?
Yes, I'm wondering.
We got 10 minutes or thereabout.
From your experience with helping other people, I'm sure you ran into a lot of neglection with people who didn't want help. And I'm curious how you approach or understand when someone declines an offering or someone not wanting help, how you approach persistence versus knowing when to stop and not drain yourself with helping them. Like you can only lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink.
Let me be sure I understood your question. You just want to know whether there are some people who had rejected our offer to help. Did I get you right?
Yes. How do you handle when people don't want your question? I mean, when do they want your inspiration? What do you do?
There have been very few occasions where people rejected what we offered. Very few. There was one occasion of a blind man. I had simply heard his story and the sufferings he was going through, and I went to try to make him my friend so that I can spend time with him. I was also new in the community and I needed friends, people I could speak with, and I saw that as a perfect, and he was scared. This is a stranger, this is a strange country, you never can tell what this man has up his sleeve. But I was able to nicely explain to him through an interpreter that I mean no harm, I mean no evil. There are very few occasions. People generally are in need, and when they see you coming with something, they accept it with kindness. Indeed, when I give people the blue ribbon, because I am a blue ribbon ambassador, when I give people the blue ribbon to appreciate them for whatever they are doing, they are expecting something else. They are expecting something like some small amount of money or something they could eat. So people who are in need are expecting gifts, and I've not had much resistance. I hope that answers your question, sir.
My question was more towards like the people in the ghetto communities or the prostitutes, that it's not something that you're offering like money for them necessarily, but you're trying to help them change their life practices to better themselves. And that ties into something that could be psychological, and they don't necessarily, there could be trauma behind why they do what they are doing. And a lot of the times in those areas, they're neglecting change because they don't want to change themselves. And so the question was more geared towards that, and how, when helping those communities, how you've approached it.
Wow. Can anyone help me rephrase? Maybe Linda, you help me rephrase because this line is breaking, please.
Well, Matthew has a very deep question for you, and I'm not sure. Please, can you shorten your question again, Matthew?
The question was about helping people with their own lives, not in terms of a donation, but when you met with people involved in crime and you're wanting to help them change their lives, and they don't want your help because they're so stuck in their ways, or it's a psychological problem, how do you address the help in that regard?
Max, sometimes you come across people who are happy with their lives, even though they aren't living good lives, and they probably reject you. How do you help them?
Sometimes I come across people who are happy with their lives of crime, and they don't want, yes, I met a lot of boys in Uganda, in Kampala, who are into drugs and crime, and they have had many religious ministers come to preach to them, come to tell them that crime is not good. You are telling them that crime is not good, but it is from crime they get the end they are living. So the only way to be able to tell them that crime is not good and get them out of it is to make a step to help. And that help is, if you are suggesting that they should start a business, you should be giving them something to start that business with. And that is what I did. There are some young men in Uganda today who are doing small businesses. They are selling, snacks and stuff. They were into crime before I met them. And when I spoke to them, they said, we don't have the capital. We don't have the capital to start. So how do we start? It's not just about telling us to live. We have to steal to survive. So if you are telling us to live, you should be helping us and indeed, I had to raise some money from my friends in the US, from my friends in Australia. They were surprised because most times when people come to them, they just talk. But I was talking and they were seeing something to start with. And I was telling them, if you stay consistent and I see your progress, more help will come your way. And indeed, they are doing well because they keep in touch with me. So I don't know if this answers your question, but most times when people are into crime and you are telling them to get out of it, they are into prostitution, you are telling them to get out of it, you don't just speak, you try to help them to start off a new life. And that's why we are thinking of the turnaround home, where we can bring these people, train them to do something, and help them to start off life again. I hope that answers the question.
Beautiful.
Linda.
Sam.
Yeah, Mac, do you have some regular volunteers or any part-time employees that help you do the work you're doing, or are you doing it all yourself?
No, I have volunteers. The Macdavis Charity Foundation has 5 members of the board of trustees. And so every month from our salaries, we put together a small amount of money, to buy things, to do charity, to help people. But then we have other people who also volunteer to join us, do things. Yes, we have volunteers to answer your questions straight on. I don't do it all alone. I'm just the leader and the founder.
We have a few minutes left. Any other questions for Mac? Come on, you guys. He's here. Mary Grace.
I heard Mac mention Barbara and the wells. And I know Barbara spoke, but I'm not sure everybody in the group knew just what you were referring to. Barbara and I have been communicating, and she is so excited. This is Barbara from Wells Bring Hope, and she spoke to Mastery Circle a few weeks ago, and we've been a supporter of her organization of drilling wells in Niger, Africa, for many years. And after being on Mac's show, she emailed me and called me, and she was so excited. She said, it looks like maybe we can get people from Nigeria involved in getting wells drilled, and we can be involved. So she sees her vision expanding, and it's because of Max. And she is very excited about that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else who has a question or a thought to share?
Well, I'll jump in again. I thought I'd send this out on the email, and I will. But when Mastery Circle, MCLA, donated to Mac's organization, we do have an easy way to donate. So individually, we're going to be donating every month. So I'm going to send out the information. It's easy to do, so that we can help support the wonderful work that Mac is doing in his organization.
Beautiful. Levita, did you want to speak?
Mary Grace, is that just for MCLA, or is that including MCLA International?
Well, the dues that come in from MCLA, that's what we do with the dues is donations. But I'm just saying there's a way that individuals can donate. So MCLA is not doing a monthly. We are, and perhaps others would like to do that. So I'll send out that information if individuals.
Yeah, but my question is that inclusive with international and not exclusive for MCLA?
Okay.
A general.
I don't understand what you're saying. I send out emails to Mastery Circle International. So that's where the information will go, and that includes people in MCLA. Is that what you mean?
Thank you. Yeah. And I have a question for Mac.
Okay, it'll be the
Mac-
last question.
Mac, okay, Mac, this house that you're talking about, I forget what your terminology was. Is it a residential or a halfway house? Or is it just an open facility where people can come and maybe gather or find support? What kind of house are you talking about?
I think it will be much more a place where people can come and go back to their various houses. Because to have a place where people can stay and be trained will be very expensive. So it's a place where people can come. They are trained on anything. It could be how to repair cars, how to sew clothes, and so on. They come and then they go. It will serve like a kind of an office, a meeting point. If doctors have to come to remove their tattoos, that's where they are coming. If people have to come to train them. So a simple, easygoing house where people come and then go. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So it's creating community and support.
Mac,
Correct.
Mac, do you want to just close up right now? Just take a minute or so and close up, and then we'll move
All
on.
right. Okay. I just thank everyone for your kind attention. I want to thank all of you for allowing me to be part of this family. Like I said earlier, I have learned a lot. Continue to show kindness in our world, wherever, to whoever. Because as you do that, you are spreading love, you are creating more love, you are creating more kindness. Thank you. And whosoever wants to be on the show to share the love, send me an email. Let's talk. Ciao.